Okay. Has anyone had problem with installing it, Tableau? So everyone has Tableau right now? Perfect. Okay,
Just
perfect.
the Tableau desktop, right?
Tableau desktop or Tableau public, anyone, yeah. Okay, then I'm just gonna start. First of all, welcome to the Tableau workshop. I'm so glad that I can have a chance to teach you guys about the Tableau, this like fantastic visualization tool. So yeah, I'm so happy about that. And then I'm now zooming right now, so note that this screen is now recording. So if you miss anything while the workshop, you can check later. I'm gonna send out the link for the video, so that's gonna be helpful for you to check out the later. And then let me introduce myself first. I'm Youngri Lee. I'm a doctoral student in quantitative method in EDP. And then I work for the Smarter Consulting. And then we, Adam and me, is consulting people in the College of Education. So if staff and faculties is looking for some tips and hints for their statistical analysis, they can ask the question to the Adam, and then if any like graduate students ask for their statistical problem, I'll be the one who take care of that question. So if you have any question, just Google Smarter Consulting UT Austin, and then you can just book a meeting like 30 minutes or 1 hour, and that would be really helpful for you guys. Okay, so let me start. So from the beginning, I want to talk a little bit about what's the difference in Tableau and then Tableau Public, because there was like 2 versions of the Tableau, right? So it's going to be confusing about which one to install at the first. So the Tableau desktop is the like actual version, like full version of the Tableau. So that's why UT is provide you a license for like student, like graduate student. I think student can also install the Tableau too. But for faculty and staff, I don't think our UT is providing any like license for them, so they can just download the Tableau desktop. Actually, there's not much difference, but there's some that you might want to know. So I want to explain a little bit about that. Okay. Can everyone hear me in the Zoom? I think they are all muted. Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. For the Tableau desktop, if you are an instructor, I guess you can ask for the Tableau desktop for your class. I think that's possible. And then if you have a Tableau desktop, you can connect to the like variety of data source. And then if you use Tableau Public, you have like kind of like limited source of the data. So that is the one difference. And then actually the main difference is privacy. So if you have a Tableau desktop, if you like finish your work, you can just save in your lab and then just send it to the person that you need to send. But for the Tableau Public, you cannot like save anything to your laptop, but only thing you can do is just publish it that to the web, the result to the web. So I think that's the one policy of the Tableau. So make them try to use the Tableau first. And then if they want some privacy for their information or data set, they have to like buy this Tableau thing. So that is the main difference. So, and then I'm gonna let you know about how to like save the Tableau and then or publish the Tableau to the public in both way at the end. So yeah, that's that. Okay, so let's talk about the Tableau a little bit. Introducing the Tableau. I was searching a little bit about what it means by Tableau, and then it was French, and then it is like painting or description in French. And you see in the mission statement of the Tableau software, we can by this using this Tableau, we can see understand the data more easily, and then visualization is also possible in this Tableau tool. So this is kind of really cool stuff, because if you want to like if you want to like grab something, it would be hard for you like coding, or you have to like click something that is kind of complicated at the first time. But for the Tableau, it's like easy to make a graph or like flow chart, and that is more easy in this way. So I put 2 examples here. We're gonna find some more later, but I thought this is a good example to start. So this is the result that Tableau made. So first of all, you can see the title there, and then after that, there is a reason here. Can you see my little cute hands here? Okay. Region, you can put region here, and then the map here is actually the percentage of minimum wage of worker across time. So if you see the Texas here, you can see this is this percentage is kind of decreasing. So you can see the data really easily and then understand easily. So that is the one part. And then the right part of the example is showing you that what kind of graph that you can draw in this tool. So first of all, this is the line graph. And then you can see that you can put some colors here, and then also the scatter plots. Or you can also make some like text bar chart here, and then map. And then what you see is that they draw a lot of graphs and then organize them into just one page. So you can see a lot of graphs in the one page really neatly. So this is the good things about Tableau. Okay. So I have to talk a little bit about the step in process, because when I first learned the Tableau, all the process was so confusing to me, because it seems like I had to make a worksheet, I had to make a dashboard. They were talking about the story, and I don't know which one is go first and which one is next. So I organized all those steps here. So if you know this step in your mind, it's going to be easy for you to get a first step and go to the next step. So what you have to do for the first time is import the data. The data can be like Excel, CSV for R, and then that file. And then you can even use other data source. For example, I have used the Google Excel to like access to the Tableau and then work with the Google Excel. So that was kind of great, because you can apply those like changing data to the Tableau like simultaneously. So that's cool part. And then after you importing the data into the Tableau, you make a worksheet. Worksheet is kind of one graph that you're gonna create. So you're gonna create one graph per each worksheet. So if you're gonna make like 5 or 6 graph, you would need a 6 worksheet. And then after creating all the worksheet, what you're gonna do next is creating a dashboard. As you see in this example, when you make each graph, you can put that graph into the dashboard. So it feels like you're making graph in each paper, and then you put in like this dashboard like this. So it's easier in Tableau. And then after that, sometimes they make a next step which called story. So for the story, they put like a lot of dashboard in a row to make like some kind of story of that dashboard. But we're not gonna cover that in this workshop. They're gonna be take a lot of time after that. So we're gonna skip that part. But after dashboard, I'm gonna explain about the Tableau server and then how we save the data into the Tableau workbook or with the data into the Tableau workbook. Okay. So we're gonna open the Tableau right now. So if everyone has a Tableau right now, we're gonna go to the Tableau. So please open it. If you have a Tableau public, you can have Tableau public. If you have Tableau desktop, open that Tableau desktop. And then please put the data set I sent you in just one file, one folder, so you can like easily access to it. Okay, so far, any question? Okay.
Let me see that.
Where's the data file?
Oh, data file is in the email that I sent you. Yeah, was 3 attachment there. Oh, you didn't receive the email? Okay, I can just send you right now. How can I send? Can you give me a email address?
EKO.
Oh, can you send it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect. You're gonna look around this screen first. So first of all, let's see here. So this is the connect page that is about all the data file that you can connect. It'll be a little different from Tableau Desktop to the Tableau Public, because if you open the Tableau Public here, it has short list of the file here. So this is what I meant to be the limited data access from the Tableau Public. But if you have a file, like actual file, like Excel file or data file, you can still use in the Tableau Desktop. So let's see. The first one is Excel. And then if we have a like CSV file, like I sent you, that would be the text file. And then if you have a like geographical data, that would be, this is a JavaScript data. JavaScript data, you can use JSON data, like PDF. And then this one is geographical data. And then if you have a like SPSS data or the SES data, R data, you can use statistical file here. And then this is server that you can connect to the internet. So you can see a lot of server that you can use like this, a lot of things here. But in the Tableau Desktop, I think it's kind of limited here. So that is one difference. Again, and then I don't see anything here right now because this is the new Tableau Desktop I downloaded later. But if you open some file, you can see your previous data file here, maybe. And then this is just sample workbook they just provide for example. And then good things about this this part is you can find some training like videos here. This is really helpful at the first time, yeah. And then other thing I want to mention is that right now it's a little different here, but if you go to the Tableau Public, there is like Biz of the Day. This is really good example you wanted to look. Let's see, what do we have here? If you use Tableau Desktop, you can just go to the Tableau web page and then find out this Tableau Public page. And then what you can see is if you click Gallery, they pick some like great Tableau result, like weekly or twice a week, and then they put the result here. So you can get some sense of what you can do with Tableau. Like you see, they make a really cool graphs here, maps there, like bar chart, like this kind of thing. Like this, they did like relatively letter frequency in multiple language. So this is kind of interesting too. So at the first time, I was really love to see those examples because they look really cool, and then I can have some sense of what I can do with the Tableau. So I just pick up those ideas and then try to apply them to my result. So yeah, these are a good example to start. Okay. Oh, one thing I want to mention is that I'm gonna do some exercise in the Tableau from right now. But if you like miss something, there's also like reference slide I created for you. So after this workshop, I'm gonna like send you a link for the video and also the reference slides, so you can check the slides as well. Okay. Okay, then let's start. First of all, what I want to do is check. Can you go to the text file, and then you're gonna see these three file here. And first thing I want to open is for store reason. This small data set. This is a makeup data set I just created to explain something about merge. Okay, so if you just open the Excel file, you don't have to do this, but I just want to explain something. Let's see the data first. If you see these two data sets in a row, you can see that their region west, east, south, and then there are name of the managers, right? And then you see that there are south here, no south in the region 2 further, right? But instead they have north region here, and then they have employees here. I created this data set like separately because I wanted to use just one data set to make it easy. But if you have a large data set, it's hard to see if what is merged, and then hard to check the results. So I make this data set really small. So that's why there's a separate data set here. Okay, so you see that there are difference between these two data sets. So let's try something here. So if you open the one file here, you see that there are some other file in the same folder. So you can like access to this data set really easily. So as we open the sports store region here, you see the data. And then what I want to do is click this region 2. And then what Tableau do is merge the data like automatically. So here we have each region, west and east, and then the two data set is now merged here, right? And then if you click this part, you can see the key variable is region right now, right? But sometimes we have more than one key variable, right? So if there's more than one variable, you can just add the next variable here. But for this data set is so small, so I don't have the next key variable, so I'm just gonna leave here. The important thing is understand the types of the merge. So if you click the left merge, let's click it. Then you can see there's south region is popped up. And then there's NA because there was no south region in the region 2 data file, right? And if you click the right merge, it would merge in for the right part. So you see the north, which was in the second data set, but there's missings here. And then if you click the full data set, it would just merge everything. But if there is no south for the second part, there is still missing. And then for here, they put missings here. So try to understand this type of the merge. But what I prefer mostly is actually the left merge. So what I do is mostly I organize the first data set like neatly and then try to merge in left sides. So in that way, I think that is a really clear way to merge the two data sets. But if you prefer other way, you can do it others as far as you understand the process of merge. Okay. This is one example for merge. Okay, we're not gonna use this data set because this data set is so small. We don't draw anything from this data set. So we're gonna just delete this, remove this for right now. And what we're gonna do is open the sports order data set. This is actually the large data set they Tableau usually use for their example. So if you're like trying to find another example for Tableau, you can easily see this data set in the internet. So let's just eyeball this data a little bit. Okay, so there's like order ID, order day, ship date, ship mode. And you see that there's some regions data here, categories, subcategories here. And then you see the sales quantity, discount, like numeric data here. Can you see a little difference? So you see really closely, it's not gonna easy to see there. Some variable have blue ABC or blue region, and then the other variable have some green part here, green number. And then this is the difference that you can like see from your variable. If your variable is like character or string, that's gonna be the blue in your Tableau. But if you have like numeric variable, that's gonna be the green. So you can just separate them conceptually. Okay. Any question? So far, so good. Okay. Let's go to the worksheet number 1. Let's open it. Oh, one thing I want to explain about here, it is connection. I don't think Tableau desktop, Tableau public has this part, but Tableau desktop has this part. What it mean by is that if you like connect to the server, like internet server, when you like click this live, the data gonna be changed if anyone change the data. But if you click extract, it would just stop data from any changes. So you can just do something like draw a graph with your data. So that is only the difference. Okay, open the data. So as you see, the blue part of the variable is all here called dimension. So we can see all the categorical data in dimension in especially blue, right? And for measure, you can see all the like quantitative data in green here. And then let's click one part. You cannot see anything here, but you like hover over here, you can see a little triangle, right? So if you click this part, you can convert this to the measure. So if you want it, you can just convert this into the measure. Then you can just create some new categories. Yes.
How can you open the map view? How can you open the map view?
Should you go to sheet 1?
Oh, here. You can go to the sheet 1 in down below. Yeah. When you want to open the next one, you can just create a new worksheet like this. Here. Or you can click this one to open a new worksheet too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm gonna try to go really slow, but if you miss any part, you can just raise your hand and say, do it again, so I can do one more time. So that's that. But I'm gonna use this as a discrete, so I'm gonna send that again. Convert to the dimension, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna explain a little bit about this large field. So we call this shelf, like bookshelves. And then in the page, we usually have if we have a like time variable, we use page, but we're not gonna cover this part this time. And then for filter, if you have a large data set and then if you want to like filter them into like range that you want, you can use this filter. We're gonna try this later. And then this mark, you can draw a lot of graphs here, or you can put some colors and then change size and then put details, text, something like that. This is really cool, Paul. So we're gonna try this. And then for columns and rows, we can see this as some kind of syntax. Like if you're using some kind of statistical software, we always use syntax to remember what we did, but there's no such thing in Tableau, but we have column and rows here. So if you see the Tableau workbook, you would know what kind of variable they use for the columns and rows, so you can like replicate the graphs again. So this is really straightforward. So we're gonna try some examples. Like I wanna see the categories in rows. I'm gonna take it really slowly. Categories to the rows, and I wanna see quantity by categories. So it'll look like this. So find a quantity in the measure part and then just drag them to the columns. And for the category, find category in the dimension and then move them to the row. Is anyone got it? Yep, okay. So we can put some more stuff in these columns and rows. Like for example, right now we see quantity by categories right now, but I want to see that by a segment too. So I'm gonna find segment dimensions here, and then I'm gonna move this to here. And then it's just gonna make a 2-row for category and then segment, and then calculate the sum of the quantity like this. Okay. And then you can also put some like dimension in the columns as well. So I'm gonna try the region, and then I'm gonna move that to the column. So you see the quantity by the region right now, right? See that this dimension, it always go first to the quantity. Like if you want to move this to the here, it's not really working. So always dimension would go first in the columns or rows. Okay, I want to put some colors here. Putting color is easy in Tableau. Like, what am I gonna do? So I'm gonna put region, and then you can move this variable to the color, and then you will get some colors here. You can change this color in Tableau too. So if you want to change any color, you can just click this colors, like for rectangle here. You click this, it's just gonna pop up some edit color. And then if you click this palette, you can select anything you want here. I'm gonna try like classic medium. And then if you click assign palette, it'll just change the color. Or if you want like specific color, you can just click this one and then just select any color that you want. That's also possible too, like this. Apply. And then you see the color is changing right now. Okay. And then now I change the color, I put the color by region, but you can always change this. Like if you want to delete some variables from the Tableau, you can just click this region and then throw them out somewhere here or here, like this. So I delete all the colors. Now I want to put color by segments. So put the segment to the color. And it would put some colors by segment right now. If you want to change the variable in not easier but different way, you can just double click this, and then you can just change something here, like region again. Then it'll work too. whichever we want. Segment. Okay, so we created one graph, really easy, right? So I'm gonna go for another sheet. So please open the new sheet here. We're gonna try a new one. Also, far I was trying to like make a graph by like clicking the variable and then put the variable into the column and row. But there's actually like easy way to draw these all the graphs. Like for example, let's click segment categories here. But don't forget to like click your control button or the command button if you're using Mac. But if you're using Windows, it's control button. Try to like try to click the control button as far as you're clicking this, all the variable. Then you can just select these 3 variable at once like this. And then what you're gonna do is go to the show me feature like this. If you open the show me, there is like a bunch of graphs that you can draw from these 3 variable, like this much. You can just play around a little bit. But there's a little red rectangle here. This means that Tableau recommend this graph for these 3 variable. So if I try this, it'll make a like similar graphs that we already did. So that means we did pretty good job on the last graphs. But that is really similar to the last one. So I'm gonna draw a little different one. So you can try a like stack bar like this, or we can try a side by side graphs. So if you like hover over these graphs, you can see that this little information is changing a little bit. So if we see the side by side bar, it says we need 1 or more dimension and then 1 or more measures to draw these graphs. So you can use this as a reference too. So I'm gonna draw these graphs. And then while I'm looking this graph, I wanna change these numbers. It's 12,000. I wanna just get rid of this K. So what we're gonna do is change little about format. So click right click the mouse and go to the format. And then we can see this format is popped up. In the scale, we can change that into the like standard number. If that's automatic, just Tableau gonna determine what kind of like numeric value they're gonna pop up. So I'm gonna just fix this into the numeric standard. So it'll look like this. If you want to change the range of this filter, if this scale, you can just double click this. And then you can make a range fix whatever you want. So I'm gonna just change this into the 12,000. Not really different, but for just example. Then X. Okay, this is how we change the range. And then there's easy way to like swap the y-axis and then x-axis if you want to change the graph like that. So when you see the upper options here, you see these little options that says swap rows and columns. So if you click this one, it'll just change the column and row. So you can just change the rows and column really easily. I think this option is really convenient because you don't have to like delete all the variable and then put the variable all over again to the columns and rows. So I think this was really smart. Okay. So I want to change a little bit. Oh, so I want to explain this. So after the swapping, you can also do some like sorting here. So if you click this one, you just ascending sort, and then you can do the descending sort too. Okay, I'm gonna stop again, like this. You see that now color is organized by segment, but what if we put measures here? Let's delete this. And then I'm gonna try to put some quantity maybe to the color. Then rather than like each color, you see there's like gradation in this chart. So if you close the show me, you can see there is some region that describe the quantities here. You can also change this if you double click this. There's also the palette that you can select from here. I usually prefer blue tier. It looks pretty. And then what you can do is if you want to like separate the color by some range, you can click this one, like step color by 5. You can always change this into like 3 or something, right? So this is the one option that you can choose. So I try to make this blue tier apply, then change like this. You can choose any color that you want. And okay. Then yeah, we finished the second graphs. Any question?
Can you show again real quick how to get to that color palette?
Okay, so double click this color palette. And then there is some options for the palette. It was blue here. Then I select the blue tier. This is just one palette that I prefer usually, but there's like a bunch of other palette here too. And then apply. If you want to like change that to the like orange gold, it would look like this. Any more question? Okay, perfect. So let's try another one. In this part, you're gonna try something really fancy. So try to open a new worksheet right now. And you're gonna try some new graphs. It'll look like this. Okay, please create a box plot with variable sales, category, and then custom name with the show me feature. You're gonna try this for like 3 or 4 minutes. It'll be not take really long. And then try to check the y-axis and then try to fix it because the y-axis is gonna be look a little different. Okay, I'm gonna give you 3 minutes. If you're finished, just make a little smile so I can notice it. Yeah. Okay, has anybody finished? Okay. Okay, let's try this with me. Check that if you did right, okay? So to draw a dot box plot, I'm gonna select the categories and then customer name here and then sales, right? Category, customer name, and then sales. Go to the show me feature, and then there is box plot here. So if I click this one, it would make a really cute box plot like this. But because there is like outliers here, the y-axis is really large here. But the actual part of the box plot is down below. So I'm gonna fix a little bit about the y-axis. So double click this y-axis and then go to the range. And we're not gonna select automatic, but go to the fixed. And then put 0 here. And then 5,000 for the end, right? And then just X. There's no like OK or confirm button. That was kind of confusing at the first time. But we gonna just click X, and then there we go. We draw a little box plot. So you see in the box plot, you can see this is 0%, and then here we have 25%, 50%, and 75%, and then 100. The other one is the outlier here. And because we put customer name for the detail, we can see that like every dot has some information. If you like hover over this little dot represent one customer. Like for this one, customer name is Cindy, and then we can see the sales that Cindy bought. And then we can see other names too. But there's one problem in this graph because there is so many people in this part. We can see any dots, but what we can see is just little lines here, right? So if we want to like illustrate how many people are in that box plot, there's a way to do this. This is really cool stuff. So try to like focus a little bit and then try to follow. So first thing to do is we're gonna calculate some fields, a new variable. So we're gonna go to this little triangle close to the dimension here, and then click the create calculated field. Click this, and then with this, we can just calculate the new variable, like create a new variable. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna create some variable named jitter. We're gonna jitter a data set a little bit, and then make some index for each customer. You don't have to put anything in this parentheses, but just put index. And click OK. Does everyone follow me? Okay. And then we can see this little jitter here. What this thing does is that it is gonna like indexing all the customer name like 1 through like more than like 5,000. So we can put this into columns here beside the categories. Try this. But we still see the same problem, right? We still see these lines here. Then we cannot see the quantity of the data set. So what we're gonna do is try to click little triangle again. And then here we can see the compute using. And then go to the customer name. Then it would just plot all the customer name like 1 through like 700 like this. So if you see this this little dot, like hover over this little dot, you can see there is a number in the customer name. For example, this is number 7. So if you go to the right part, you see this number is increasing, like 570, and then this is 702, like this. So all customer name is now indexed. You can also change the colors here. This is really cool. So I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna put color on the category. So what you can do is go to the category part and then put some colors here. Getting more pretty, right? And then because we put jitter here, there is some jitter name in the x-axis. So I want to just delete this part, so we can just right click this jitter and then click out the show header. Then it's gonna just move on. And then if you want, okay.
Sorry, so the point of jitter is just to be able to see like where customers are like concentrated in the hotspot. Okay.
That's right. That's right. So you can see this customer is all concentrated in here by categories, right? And then you can also move make this graph a little narrower like this. Okay, this was there. Any question? Okay, perfect. So this was the only single quantity with the dimension, but we now gonna work on like multiple quantity in one graph. So let's open a new worksheet here. And what you're gonna grab is this count here in the measure, the first one, and then profit ratio. And then I'm gonna select manufacturers in the dimension. And then you know what I'm gonna do, go to the show me feature. And then here, the Tableau is recommending us to draw a scatter plot like this. So I'm gonna click this. And because we also have outliers here, this graph seems not really pretty. So I'm gonna just narrow down the y-axis and then x-axis too. But first of all, what I wanna do is, because this is all summed up, but this is a discount percent and then this is profit ratio, it does not make sense to have a sum. So let's just change the sum here. If you click this little triangle again, click it, and then you can change the measure of this variable. Now it is sum right now, but you can change this into the average, like this. So do that. Do the same thing for the discount part. Go to the measure and then change sum into the average like this. And then actually this is a percentage. I want to change this into the percentage again. So what we can do is right click this part, formatting. And then like we did last time, we can go to the scales, go to the number, and there's also the percentage options here. So we can change that. I'm gonna erase the decimal. Decimal means this little decimals here, but I don't think we need this. So I'm gonna make it 0. Okay. Please do the same for the y-axis. Format, right click and format, not double click. Go to the number, scale number, and then click percentage here. Fix the decimal. Okay. this graphic is not look really neat right now, but we can put some colors and then the sizes. So so graphs look more like neat or fancy. So I'm gonna do that for the by categories right now. So go to the categories and then I'm gonna put some colors by categories like this. And then there's some more option that you can do for the color, like click the color. And then you can decrease the opacity a little bit. And then you can change the shape. If you click shape, you can fill this little circle like this. Also, you can increase some size. It'll look like this. So it looks like a bubble, like a scatter plot right now. How about we want to see some profits by size. So let's put profits variable here. Put profits to the size. Then circle gonna change the size by the profit. So if you put the profit here, it's gonna change some circle size like this. It's not really clear, so I'm gonna just increase the size a little bit more. And then change the opacity a little decrease. So it'll look like this. What I did is just fixing a little numbers in the opacity of the color and then change the size of the circle and then change the shape to fill the circle. Right? So if you see the graphs like this, you can see the average profit ratio and then the average discount. So this is like a regression. You can see the difference. You can see the like correlation between these two variables. But if you want to like interpret this variable, I think it's easier to swap this graphs again. So I'm gonna do that. Let's do so. Like swap this. So it'll look like this. Okay. If you like hover over any circle, you can see some more information. For example, it seems like this circle is largest one, right? So if I hover over this little circle, it says a manufacturer is Canon, and I think it has the largest profit, like more than 40,000, right? If you want to mark this little specific data, what you can do is right-click this little circle and then go to annotate, and then you can select mark. Then this little screen is popped up, like edit notation. Here you can see categories and then every variable that we put in these graphs. But what I'm focusing right now is just manufacturer. So I'm gonna just delete the rest of the information here. Just leave this. And then if you click OK, it's just gonna pop up like this. One thing I wanna notice is that if you wanna change like font size of this font, the important thing is you have to like drag this part and then change the font size like this. I really wanted to mention this because this is the one part that I'm really struggling on, because this looks really easy problem, but it was really hard to solve. I was like trying to like change the font size here, but nothing changed and I don't know what happened. So it was like hard to find. Try to drag this and then change the color or font types, whatever you want. So it'll look like this. If you want to like edit some this rectangle, you can do that in format too, but I'm gonna skip that part right now. Okay. So, if you want to put some like other marks here, you can do mark label. It's not automatically hide. I don't know why this automatically hides the marks, but if you want to make them show in your graph, you can click always show, like this. Okay, the next thing I wanna do is draw a regression line. From the regression line, we can interpret the regression line as if average of discount is like increase, what happened to the average of profit ratio. So if you see these graphs, you can see that this is like generally decreasing. So if you increase the average like discount rate, you can see that the profit ratio is decreasing sadly. But if you want to put some trend line here, there's two ways to draw a trend line. One way is to go to the analytic part next to the data, and then draw a trend line here. Or easy way is to just right click the blank part anywhere in the graphs, and then there is trend line here also, and then show the trend line like this. So you can see the trend line by the category right now because it's in like different color. So you see that, let's see. So if you see the region here, you can see that this is for technology. And then this one is for furniture. So if you like increase the discount by like 1 unit, in the furniture, their profit ratio is decreasing more rapidly than the technology. So you can see those kind of difference here. What are we gonna do when we want a like general trend line, not by this kind of categories? What we can do is click this. Oh, sorry. Show the trend line. Edit the trend line, and then trend line option is popped up. There's a bunch of options that you can select from here, like model type. I just gonna select the linear regression as the simple one, but here you can find in options that you can like select whether to include the following field as a factor or not. But now category is checked now, so we can just delete this part. If you click OK, you can see the general trend line here. Any question about this? Okay, that's so good. If you hover over this trend line, you can see the equation here. So you see the slope is minus 1.6. And then for the slope, we have 0.35, about 35%. And then the p-value also. So actually Tableau is not a like statistical tool, so you cannot do any like estimating here, but you can do the simple one like regression in the Tableau. Okay. Let's see the graphs again. We see that there is a little outlier, not really outlier, but let's assume that this is outlier. So what I want to do is explain about this filter part. So by using this filter part, you can just filter some data set here. So if you want to filter out this outlier, you can do something like this. So go to the profit ratio because I wanna take control for this y-axis, profit ratio, and let's go to the filter. Go to the filter, and then because this profit ratio is average, we're gonna click average. And then here we see the range that not we set it, but the Tableau set it for us. But I'm gonna change a little bit here to make it -5 because it's over -5. I'm gonna make it -0.5, and then I'm gonna leave this part. And then if we click apply, it'll just filter out. You see that this part, the lowest part of the y-axis is now 0.5 that I fixed it, right? And then the problem is the size getting a little smaller, so I'm gonna make it a little bigger. Like this. So here we create the first data set. So here you see that we already make 4 graphs like this, like 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then after creating all these graphs, we wanted to like put this graph into the one board to like show the result at once. So what we want to do is go down below, and after the worksheets, there are something called dashboard. If you hover over it, there we can see new dashboard right here. Let's click it. And then there we go. I want to explain a little bit about this dashboard before we put something here. So for this dashboard, you can like select the size. So this is by default. You can select like phone. So you can put graphs that fit on the phone. You can put device preview. I'm not gonna click it, but. And then you can also like select the size of the your screen. So if the graphs is a little large for your dashboard, you can always like change the width and height. There's a bunch of selection that you can make, right? And then there is some object you can put here. Like for example, when you put some web page here, like you can put some URL, you can put some blank here, and then put some text like this. It asks you to type something. And then if you have an image, you can also put image in here. I'm gonna now delete this. And then the difference in tile and floating is that if you click tile, it'll just make it like stack into the dashboard. But if you click floating, it'll just create a new screen right here, and it'll just float over your own graphs. If you have like bunch of graphs and then you want to put a graph over your graphs, you can use this floating part. Okay, then let's put some graphs here. I'm gonna put my first sheet here. It's gonna look large right now. And then second worksheet, maybe here. You see that there are region is pop up in the right side, right? And then third one over here. And then fourth one. If you like increase the dashboard size, your graph size is gonna be increased too. So if you have a large, many graphs that you want to put in one dashboard, try to fix the size at the first time. because then you don't have to like change the size later. Okay, after putting all the graphs in one dashboard, you might want to change the titles here. So I'm gonna put a little different title here. If you double click the titles like sheet 1 through sheet 4, what I'm gonna do is skitter plot. So you can change the names here like you want. This is jitter. Like first example. Right? But you might want to put a large title in the top. So what you can do is if you go really down here, you can see this little show the dashboard title. If you click this part, there is a bigger title that you can change. So click this. And I'm gonna write something like Tableau report for 2019. And then apply. Fancy, isn't it? So this is the result that we can get from the Tableau in really quick way. Not quick at the first time, but this is the result that I really like in this kind of like fancy visualization, really. And then what we do is save this, right? Because I should save this to like share this Tableau result to the others, or I can just upload it to the public. But there's a like bunch of ways to do this, and then it's different for Tableau desktop and then Tableau public. I'm gonna explain a little bit about how to save this. The first way, the easy way is for the Tableau desktop is go to file as we usually do for like all the other programs, and then click save as. And then there's two options like Tableau workbook or Tableau packaged workbook. There's difference between these two. If you save this as a Tableau workbook, what you do is just save this Tableau like variables and all the color that you set. That's all. But if you send this Tableau workshop to our workbook to others, and then if others don't have any data set, it's gonna have some errors while you're like that person is opening. So if you wanna save the data set with these graphs, you better save as a Tableau packaged workbook. But if that's the case that person also have the data, you can just save as Tableau workbook. Because if you save as Tableau packaged workbook, the size of the file is gonna be increased a little bit. So that is one part. But what if we don't want to like save in that complicated way, but just want this as a like image or PDF? That's when we go to the dashboard, not save, not file, go to the dashboard. And there's an option that you can export as an image like this. And then you're gonna save this as a PNG file or JPG file that we usually use as an image file. That's also the one way. And if you want to like extract this as a PDF, you go to the file again, and then go to the print to PDF. In this way, you can just save this as a PDF. This is neat too. I usually use PDF, but sometimes use an image. Because when I work with the Tableau, usually the person who I want to send the result don't have Tableau in their laptop. So I usually use image or PDF to save this and then share with others. And also you can publish it or share it with others. But in the case, I want to explain that in the Tableau public. Okay, so I'm gonna try to make a quick graphs here. So if you have any graphs, quantities like this, and then want to save that with others, if I put this as dashboard. And there's another way to do this. If you're using the Tableau public and then go to the file, there's no save button, like save as your own file. Instead, they have save to Tableau public, like save to Tableau public as. So if I try this, it asks me about the title, and then I just put it as a book or example 1. And if I save it, let's see what happens. It just published my graphs into the public. So this is my account in the Tableau. So if you want to publish your result, you have to make your account later. And then if you make an account, it'll just put my graphs into my account, but this is still a public. So anyone who like search for my graph just can find this graph. So after you publish it, you can download it as a PDF. Like if you click here, it'll just ask you about the select the format in image or PDF, PowerPoint, even a Tableau workbook. And then you can download it from here. But if you're using like restricted data that has like some privacy in it, you might don't want to use this Tableau public, right? Because anyone can see this result. So please be careful about that. And then the one thing I want to mention is there's no remove button here. So you have to go to the My Profile again and then delete here. I just want to delete right now. Okay. So if you're using the Tableau public, your policy gonna work like this. Okay. And then I want to mention about other source that we can use it later. Okay, so after this workshop, you might want to learn more about the Tableau, and there's great videos about the Tableau a lot in the internet. So first webpage that you want to see is the Tableau, the webpage itself, because they offer like free training videos and then learning videos. And then they have like bunch of other skills and then tools that you can use for the Tableau. And then another webpage that I wanna like recommend is Data Flare. And then it also explains a lot of things about Tableau in really easy way. And then actually, I don't prefer the video. I prefer more in books because this is really related to the reason why I didn't like distribute the slide at the first time, because you're using Tableau in the screen, it's really hard to like switch back and forth from the video and then Tableau and then learn something from the video. So if you have two screens, that's fine. But if you have just one screen, I think it's better to just read the book and then find the tools that you want really quickly, and then just apply that to the Tableau. I like these three books, but this one is one thing that I really like. It's a Tableau book for beginner, and then the practical Tableau was a little harder than this one. So this is easy to start with at the first time. Okay, I think that's all for today. Any question about the Tableau? Okay.
you have like additional workshops that teaches more advanced skills?
For the Tableau?
Yes.
We don't planning for that, but we are looking for other ideas to like open more workshop. So if people want it, we're gonna open it. So yeah, and then we might gonna distribute like evaluation form later. So if you have any idea or suggestion about this workshop, you can write it on that. We also hear all your idea to like open another workshop like data, or yeah, we are doing the art workshop as well. So we can use that too. Okay, I think this is it. Thank you for listening, and then thank you for coming. Bye. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Oh, you got another one.